But if you take this game to late, it's going to be incredibly tough to beat this Terrorblade, who at that point is running around with 3.5k HP. The DK is running around with 4.5k HP. And the Night Stalker is, well, he's not running, he's flying, and he's right on top of your Quap.
Yep, they're going to tank up hard and they're going to tank up fast.
I definitely see an avenue where they can win this. But they need to kind of, get active early with the Quap split, the Quap and Nate's Profit split, which to make sure the TB's map is tiny.
Yep, I agree with you here. I definitely, the scenario in which they fight back the cut probably still sees the TB getting farmed. But
yeah, it's a TB. You can't really stop a TB.
Indeed. Well, so far no invasions on either side of the river. Actually been surprised by how few people right now are blocking off the small camps. But of course, everybody has gotten used to that, and both teams would have been ready to fight that, one with the Clockwork, one with the Snapfire. And so all mid laners get to have their nice supplemental farm.
Well, it is starting with, okay, a nice steal by Murdoch. They do spot it out, but 3 bounty runes picked up by the E-boys because someone wasn't paying attention to secure the bounty runes.
Solid start.
And in that mid lane matchup, you kind of don't have to watch it at all. It's a Quap against a DK, and no one dies there, unless we get some ganks coming in from the side lanes, but that is very doubtful.
Yep. Right now, I think the lane with the most potential for action is this bot lane. We're going to have Snapfire and Night Stalker very hard to get off a target once they're already on top of him. So this Grimstroke is going to have to keep his distance, and he's already walking after Giant, who's body blocking that pole camp. Nothing he can do about it. Leaves a sentry as well, not just a body block anymore, and a courier.
Yep, that is still... It is one of the most baffling things out there. My courier always dies, but the fact that so many people just never pay attention to their couriers.
Listen, if it was already on its way back and you already got your items, you just teleported home, okay?
We'll stick to that story. The courier's tired, he already walked the entire way, just give him some rest. He gets a nice teleport back home. The Kip's way. Well, there seems to be some lag issues coming in. That's definitely not great. And hopefully those will be resolved soon enough. No first bloods yet, but then again, would not have expected it to happen with these lanes. Maybe if the TB gets caught off guard with a nice Sprout, Battery Assault, Power Cogs combo.
Yep, it is possible. But then again, that would also require the Ogre Magi to leave his side. I don't.
Okay, who do you think is going to secure first blood? Just
first blood, off the top of my head, Giant.
Giant
and last hit onto Albino Zebra.
Okay, to be fair, if the Grimstroke walks out of position once, he's dead. But yeah, that probably makes the most sense. I think both side lanes do. That's your voice line. I think both side lanes do have kill potential on each other, though bottom lane it's going to be pretty hard for Electronic Boys to kill off a Snapfire Night Stalker. Looking at mid, nothing happening. Kind of expected. Back to the side lanes.
Yeah, we are of course going to see probably rotations coming in from both of these mid laners eventually, but that's always going to be towards action on these side lanes. And right now, Ziz is just doing his best to keep that Ogre McGee out of his Nature's Prophet's hair. Speed is such a important player for this team. Like, whenever he has a good game, you know eBoys is going to have a good game. If he doesn't, it is always a question if they're going to be able to put any fights up.
It's going to be a pretty tough affair. I mean, you are looking at the top of the board, and by a pretty big margin, the only team that they lost to, that they actually lost a map to, is the team that is in second place. And they are 3-1 right now. So, definitely says enough. The other teams, they all beat in a 2-0 fashion. It couldn't be 3-0 at the top. So, it wouldn't be too far-fetched if you'd expect the cut to make it towards Division 1 next season.
No, they're definitely on track. And right now, this is such a breather compared to like the middle of the pack games. People taking it easy in the lanes. No unnecessary balls, although Murdoch taking a risk as I say that.
Opening up the time dilation. I mean, it's nice to make sure that you don't get spammed to death by spells. So
and don't underestimate the
really
damage
tough
potential
lane.
either. Especially in a lane like this, where it's very likely that both heroes have 2 of their spells on cooldown at the same time. Deal a lot of damage, and now they're going in.
As a leap to heal up, going in onto Giant. Cookie Sun, though, in return, faces Void dropping low, DNM. Time Dilation does make sure that he doesn't get the catch onto the Faceless Void, but healing selves on both sides. And a lot of damage, but no kills.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So far these lanes are going really nicely for the Radiant actually. Both Speed as well as Oklahoma really getting their money's worth out of these lanes.
Though in 30 seconds it is going to be nighttime. And then it becomes a lot tougher. Albino dropping low. Giant, is he going to get the kill? Or is the Giant going to be the one getting killed currently? Bash is not coming through. Giant dropping low. Albino is actually going to die second. This is Murdoch getting first blood on the Faceless Void. And, well, he's got a nice big stack of cash waiting for him.
No points for me. And he is saving up a lot of money over here. Immediately into the boots. Okay, I was worried for a second that he was going to rush his Mask of Madness, but would rather get the basics up instead.
I've seen a lot more Anamiduses come up and stuff, but still not a big fan. Mask of Madness, Faceless Void, yeah. Maelstrom, Faceless Void, yeah. Battle Fury, nah.
Since 2006.
Ooh, Sonic Wave onto the DK. Battery Assaults. It's DK, he's pretty tanky, does have a fire and try and bait them in. They turn it around. Oklahoma is dead. He does eventually die to the Clockwork, but he finds the kill onto the Quap first. So definitely a big plus in that regard for the DK.
Unfortunate for the Queen of Pain, at least she manages to save her tower here. Catapult is dead, and she can go back into the jungle to farm up more, because this is a Quap, no points in Dagger, maxing Scream. She already knows that her job this game is to out-farm the DK.
Well, it is the Nage's Prophet that's at the top net worth currently.
Dire's
Of
middle
course,
tower is under attack.
very close on all the cores. Except for the DK, he's the one struggling, which is kind of surprising that a DK is the one not getting any farm in a mid lane matchup against a Quap.
Not so much not getting any farm, as much as that she's been supplementing over on the side. So she'll just usually come out a little bit further ahead than he will.
Bottom lane almost got another kill with a rotation from set YZ, or Sizz, or Size. I have no idea.
Try calling him Ziz.
Sizz. Yeah, Sizz probably sounds the best.
Is under attack.
And
Speed.
Really putting the hurt on him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to take down that tower so the Faceless Void can leave the bottom lane and just take over top instead, because you're getting to the point where Night Stalker, if you're not having a Grimstroke or a Clockwork nearby, Faceless Void can be soloed.
Yep. And I think over on both sides we're seeing a lot of caution right now because of the threat of rotations, both from a Night Stalker coming in, he's going to pop 6 pretty much right now, or a Queen of Pain, or even a Faceless Void as soon as he hits that chrono timing.
Oh, NP is going for the Orchid Quick Rush. That's a solid way to solo a TB if you catch him out in the wild. He's done. Albino will be finished off. Can't even get the ink. Oh my god, I don't know. I'm coughing. Sorry, my bad.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Maybe all that violence was a bit too much for your delicate systems.
I think I just choked on water right before. And also violence is never the answer, but it is a lot of fun.
But violence was the question. Violence?
And yes is the answer.
Exactly.
Well, Void is going to go for that Mask of Madness. So we do have an answer on his build so far. The DK is the question what he's going to be building. Is it just going to be a straight up Blink Dagger DK, or is he going to get some more of a farming tool? Because honestly, I don't really think you need to make that many heavy plays in the early game. Speed's on the run. Or on the very slow walk. Tries to disengage, but he's going to get stunned up by Pingu, and Scourge just right clicks him down. Immediately TP's away towards his base because he's terrified of what might just come towards the top lane, and rightfully so. There's a Faceless Void rotated through the chrono available.
And suddenly everybody's moving bot lane. Albino Zebra, he's in trouble again.
Yeah, it's a sad little Grimstroke towards mid. The DK is also on the run. Kits chased by Oklahoma, but well, he has level 3 Dragon's Blood. He's walking around with 1740 HP pre 10 minutes. Strength arrows.
Actual 18 armor as well. So let us not forget.
And, currently 28. If he stands in the river, 28 HP region.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not bad at all. And this is going to be the end of the Radiant middle tower very soon. So Speed's work on top, his life sacrifice there as well, very necessary just in order to get his team some space on the map. Get that Faceless Void some room to rotate out. And Speed's now going to look to apply that pressure to the bottom lane, where hopefully he can distract some of the enemies away from mid lane.
Yeah, Speed definitely needs that Orchid quickly to try and make plays. The fact that Speed, of course, goes for the Orchid means that the Quap doesn't, and he's going to go for a little bit more of a fighting item in that regard. Sanj and Kaya Sanj is a lot better.
Yeah, Kaya Sanj also scales so well. It feels really good to have that extra magic damage throughout the game. Anything that increases percentage based feels pretty nuts.
Only downside is, though, the biggest problem that you're going to have this game, I would say, as the Quap would be the Night Stalker. And you're going to need to build up the BKB afterwards. And at that point, you can survive in a team fight, because otherwise you just get hit by a Crippling Fear at night and, well, you literally just right-click down.
Yep, very true. I think in this game it's really going to be a coin flip between who of the two cores feels, well, wants to get taken down by the NS this time, because one of them has to offer themselves up first, right? Either Speed, showing himself on the lanes, split pushing, or the Quap doing the same, and the other one will have to follow up. Neither of them particularly suited to tanking the aggression.
Well, currently, both sides just content with letting their safe laners farm away in the tri-stack area. No big stacks, of course, to abuse in that regard, but they're just kind of waiting for all their item timings to come through. I mean, look at mid, Snapfire and Ogre trying to make sure that they get a catch, and everyone is missing all their attempts. for a team fight. Nothing really secured except for that tier 1 tower by the DK, and they're looking for the clockwork currently, but with no Dragon Tail stun, they can't hold them in place for the rest to get on top.
Fortunate misses there, especially for E-Boys. They actually played a terrific game with a clockwork Grimstroke combination last week, which I remembered seeing this now, especially because they missed. Last week they did not miss, not a single time. Those rotations were terrifying.
Well, it is one of those combos that are pretty tough to beat if you're not incredibly tanky. Like if you hook shot the Ogre Magi, he like shrugs it off. You might kill the Ogre. You don't care about the Snapfire, could cookie someone out of the cogs, or hook shot in the case that happens as well. And the others are pretty tanky except for TB, but you know that will all turn around once he gets his items.
And right now, Ebo is pretty much forced to let that bottom tower go. Instead, they're going to focus on this middle tower, hoping to get the trade. They've brought speed in as well. He's got the full Orchid now, so he is ready to rock and roll.
Well, Pingu tries to defend, though he's a sitting duck in that scenario, whereas the bottom lane will be taken down, but so far 4 tower is going to be secured off the map. That means there's a lot of mobility in the enemy's jungle that is available, and currently we do have Electronic Boys abusing that factor to its maximum. Murdoch getting close to finishing up the Maelstrom, which is also pretty good if you want to try and catch out the TB, who currently is still at its weakest form. And a Midas DK though. Okay, so he does have a little bit sort of farm tool-ish, and he does use the attack speed. And it also is pretty much just trying to scale in towards the late game, which is exactly the Cut's game plan here, because you take this late, you probably take it.
You probably do. I mean, Chronosphere will always remain scary. It is one of those abilities that you can never underestimate, but so far, yeah, DK doesn't really feel the need to create engagements. Not when it comes
Clockwork.
to him.
Gonna get Jump, Night Stalker ult used as well. Albino on the run. Night Stalker not the fastest in the world, but fast enough for this very slow Grimstroke. And with the Echo Saber as well. No way to escape. Giant gets that kill. Because, well, he's greedy. I'm using the Night Stalker's vision for some counterward shenanigans.
E-Boys did leave solid vision over on the dire side of the map though, so they still got something to work with here, as well as some vision in their own jungle just in case the Cut wants to invade. I wonder if they're going to check for this ward up on the cliff here.
Well, it is giving a ton of vision, and that is kind of the downside of, you know, the fact that you don't counter ward an enemy's high ground ward is for exactly this reason. They have no idea that there is an observer on top. And to scout it out, you do have a Clockwork that can definitely check it out, and even the Nate's Prophet, but someone needs to walk in that direction to, of course, give that information. Don't count toward it. And then they don't know.
Yeah. And I guess for E-Boys it's very simple, they just don't play on that side of the map right now. Got this support duo with both of their spells up, rearing to go, but not sure you can kill this Night Stalker without losing at least some heroes in return.
They're trying to take Roche. Murdoch's taking a beating from Roshan in the process, but Mask of Madness heals him up slightly. Nate's Prophet tanking it with his Treants. They don't know what's going on currently, and the E-Boys are just trying to zone them out while Roshan is slowly but surely dying.
Yeah, I don't think the Cut expects them to be able to take Roshan right now, and I gotta say, they're only barely able to anyway. Barely is enough.
That's a pretty big surprise play, and it's very effective. They pick up a nice Aegis, and as you said, the Cut had absolutely no idea that was possible.
They just saw the same as we saw, a Quap on the mid lane, trying to create an engagement, and they were like, "How? We're not going to give you the opportunity."
Dire's
Well,
top
guess
tower
what?
is under attack.
She was not really after that after all. A little bit surprised to see the Aegis over on Murdoch though. He's going to have to actually get involved now in order to make that worth it.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's
Gotta
bottom
make sure it's
tower
not
is under
just
attack.
some random farming
Radiant's
Aegis.
top standing.
We've been talking about how vulnerable this Quap is.
And it's not going to change anytime soon. Does have the Sands now being delivered, so at least we'll be a little bit more tanky. There's going to be a Chrono catch onto the Night Stalker. Sonic Wave is there in case it's needed, but
Radiant's bottom tower
we will find the kill. And the tier 2 tower towards top lane. They did lose one in the bottom in trade, so both teams being able to steal each other's outposts, but they're not even trying to play near each other. I mean, DK went for a blink after his Hand of Midas, so he's got 2 items. That's about 4k investment. That, I mean, they combined, they give him 40 attack speed.
I mean, it's mostly about the reach net right now, right? Put somebody in range, get reactions, then the Night Stalker can get on top of the supports. DK is in.
Going for the clock. Clock has a hook shot, and he hook shot away. He's trying to immediate TP to base, and he gets himself to safety. Great move, Albino. He waited there for the Clockwork to hook shot him. That is some team coordination on the E-Boys side to keep all their players alive. Plus, very importantly, nothing feeding the TB so far, even though he is still top of the board. Mantistel, Dragonlance, Dawn is going for that Ayaskali. Once that's finished, it's going to be fairly, most of the time, fairly tough to kill him, though the face of Void is starting to hurt.
He is, yes, and the BKBs are also going to start coming in now. Quap's going on next immediately after the SNK, as we were talking about. Speed already has his. He is really farming up a storm. It's in its his stash right now. I'm always a little bit bothered when I see people not putting the hearts on themselves and instead running around with an Iron Branch. But, you know, you do you.
Oh, Albino, counter ward successful, but we'll have to pay for that one dearly, of course, in that position. There's nothing really that you can do. No teammates could rotate it easily to save your life either. At just 2 minutes left on it for the Face of Void, but he doesn't want to fight until he gets his Chrono. Honestly, he probably doesn't want to fight until he gets his BKB.
Probably none of them do. Oklahoma here as well, about halfway done. Ideally, they just spend the rest of this Aegis avoiding. They got what they came for, which is that top tower, get the long lanes, slow this game down. Wait until an advantageous fight.
Oh, hook shotting, catch on the snap. Can cookie himself out of there, though. Couple of spells used, nothing gained. Chrono does get yeeted onto the DK, who is not as tanky as he would have liked. Found out Oklahoma gets the kill, but they find a quick trade. Oh, that Sonic Wave. Oklahoma blows up Giant. DNM, he's just lurking about, trying to re-engage. TB all bound together to the Ogre. He does have a Sunder available. Can he get it off? No, he's going to get silenced, and the TB is down. Buyback even used by Giant to rejoin the fight. While the Night Stalker is just scurrying in and out of the engagement the entire time. Chase on towards the Quap. Quap's on the run. Faces Void as well, but the Quap will get the TP to safety, and the Faces Void should be running all the way home. So, a pretty lengthy fight. But most importantly, the TB got taken down.
Yep, he tried to mantle dodge the Inkswell stun there, but mistimed it. And got stunned and brought down, unfortunately for him.
That Night Stalker, once he gets that BKB in that fight, he can do everything. But he didn't have it yet, so you saw him flying in and out every single time to just hit a Void. With BKB now being done on the Night Stalker, the fights are going to start to become a lot tougher. Same with the DK. I mean, he just doesn't have those big boy stats to stay alive inside the Chrono yet.
Not yet, no. With the BKB, for both of these heroes, it is a little bit of damage, but I was concerned by how long it took them to take some of these E-Boys heroes down. They do definitely have an abundance of hit points, but maybe they don't actually punch hard enough just yet.
They're just trying to take this late, though. The Terrorblade, once that Ice Guard is finished, a lot more stats, a lot more survivability, and the slows are pretty nasty. But it's also because the TB just joined the fight in last. Hook shot timing, not really the most perfect. BKB used by DNM. Has the Crippling Fear as well in case it's needed. Chase from the DK Soulbind, just to keep them at bay. They find themselves a Clockwork. Yeah, the combination was not spot on this time. The Inkswell already popped before he even went for the hook shot.
Calibrating, and at the very least they don't really lose anything for it. This Clockwork, look at how close he is to the Aghanim Scepter actually. His farming game is definitely benefiting E-Boys as well.
It'll be very tough to beat in a team fight for the Terrorblade. You can stun him up a very long time if you get that double hook shot, double hog block.
And that is the third BKB now done for E-Boys, so they are completely geared up. Oklahoma, of course, next stop would be the Shard. Get yourself the Sonic Boom and the Silence over on your Blink, which is a great deal of added damage.
Honestly say, just wait a little bit, get it for free from Roche.
Possible. I'm not sure if the cut is going to fall for your tricks a second time, though.
Well, if you just kill the TB, they can't do anything about it.
True.
I'm saying that, but they probably could just still steal it away. They've got a Blink Dagger on Snapfire, Nice Hawk can fly in, and DK has a Blink Dagger. They could always just try and yoink it, even if the TB dies.
Speed, BKB TP'd up.
George McDuck chasing after the Treants.
Extra gold.
It's extra gold. It's keeping him quite occupied for quite some time, though. Split push versus split push shenanigans.
Yeah, this is such a quiet game compared to everything else that we've seen in NA so far.
Yep, compared to SA as well. It's very silent. Both teams just trying to farm up, which is surprising because literally 80% of the games that I've been casting lately have been Medusa games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are also like action-packed for some reason.
Ah, yes. Medusa action movie star Orden extraordinaire.
Yep, totally not the most boring. Well, not the most boring, though it gets close.
Hook shot on top. I don't think they have enough damage here, or indeed. But that's a cute attempt.
Well, second BKB charge used. It didn't cost you that much. So Roshan, minute and a half until it respawns.
And this time Ziz didn't even die.
It's a game where the cut really need to start getting closer towards Roche. They do have vision in the area. That's one big plus. So they know if they're getting towards Roche. However, they're scanning the pit, and they might just think that it's in. They smoke up. Scan just shows that there is no one in the pit for the time being, and might be able to get themselves a huge catch onto Murdoch. He went for the full Mjolnir. Can they stun him up? He doesn't pop his BKB in time. Silence, stun lock, and yes, the Face of Void is dead for 65 seconds. Great catch coming out. Without a chrono, a team fight for E-Boys is going to be very dangerous.
They're already backing out. Speed has returned to the bottom lane. Split push. Ziz, you just gave the gig away, man.
No, he pops his BKB in time. Mortimer gets this come out. And Oklahoma, Albino, both going for the TP out of there. We'll be able to disengage.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
He, you know, as you mentioned, bit of split push shenanigans.
Isn't it magical, Papa?
As he will. And now Roshan is going to respawn in 5 seconds, which leaves a couple of seconds left on the respawn timer for that Faceless Void, and no good opportunity for E-Boys to get in there, unless of course the cut doesn't actually go and look for it. Right now they seem unconcerned, they're just dewarding their jungle.
I like these mushroom skins from The nasty Nate's Prophet.
He's got the shard at the ready as well. So even your quelling blades won't save you now. If you get sprouted, you gotta get out with blinks, force staffs, or have your phase boots at the ready. Otherwise you will be blocked by one of these big boys.
Well, they're trying to take Roshan down. There is a meta available. They have everything, almost everything. No Night Stalker ulti, no Mortimer's Kisses, which could be problematic. DK ulti is almost there. They're taking down Roche pretty quickly with the Nature's Prophet behind him, who went for the Shadow Blade. And yeah, you kind of need to make a move. These treants are being a nuisance, and they're giving all the damage. They find Roche, they get themselves a free Aegis, plus the shard. They walk away. 3k net worth lead right now. And the cut, they were just being blocked all the way back because of these stupid treants constantly just hitting them.
Absolutely overtaken by mushrooms. Yeah, you can deward the entire cliff range if you'd like, but as long as you have those treants in the way, you won't even get down the ramps. That is pretty awkward.
They also went for that treant summon talent, which not every NP goes for it, but it does add so much more power to the split push. And scouting abilities, of course.
He commands a
for the
veritable
Silver Edge.
army.
DK going Ags. That would be a Black Dragon, though you definitely have to be fearful of this Face's Void.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Yep, and the shard went to this Face's Void, so he's got the reverse time walk ready, which is an excellent tool, especially when you're looking to siege the high ground here.
One hit, back. One hit, back.
Hey, it's better than standing up there and just tanking everything the cut has with your face.
And then you jump up one time, and then you get stunned. Oh.
That's
Whoops.
what the Aegis is for. You get one redo. You get a whoopsie.
So, E-Boys just trying to push out all the towers outside. Hook shot comes
Nice
in
hook
on to
shot.
the Night Stalker. Blows him up. DNM out for the count. 50 seconds. Does not have a buyback available. And it is a pretty lengthy stun lock if you get hook shotted into cog blocked. Yeah, you have to say that one very carefully.
Well, luckily you're the one who needs to use all the words. I'm just here for the brain.
Luckily, I don't have to use that one.
Dire are scanning.
And with Clockwork Hookshot, sometimes it's much like a Pudge Hookshot, right? You only really have to hit one of them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, it's beautiful if you hit multiple, which is not really possible with a Fudge. Would be sick,
Dire's middle tower.
but probably broken. Ags get that, you know, like with Mirana, triple.
Oh yeah, like that. Oh, I just thought you were implying that your Pudges never hit more than one hook a game.
Oh no, that's also the case. But then again, I don't think have that many Pudges with me. Against is a different story, and I am honestly the easiest target to ever hook.
Radiant
You've ever seen the movie Prometheus?
I have
They
not.
run. Okay, well, there's this scene where like a gigantic cylinder spaceship falls down, and they all run away in a straight line.
That's you, huh?
That is me.
Picturing it.
Murdoch, ready for his next item. Now the real damage will be added in. I would assume an MKB, considering TB has innate level 10 talent evasion.
Yeah, possible. I need
TB's actually
16%.
Dire's bottom
TB is actually going for attributes instead of the reflection.
I
That
guess this
is
is a
interesting.
tower has
pretty low value game, and you're trying to be as strong as possible for the upcoming high ground siege, but that is indeed a new build to me as well. Aghanim's up for the DK. This is, as much as it's benefited E-Boys to play this one slow, to play the map, get the most out of it with their Nature's Prophet.
Oh, refresher. He can interrupt the TP, and there we go. DK did not react to the fact that the Clockwork, of course, has an Ags available, and that is a big kill secured. BKB on cooldown. All the Dragon form still only on cooldown for 40 seconds, but they found the DK down for 60 seconds. They found the Snapfire. Same story, different position. And all of a sudden, the cut, it's looking dangerous because E-Boys, they're coming for the high ground.
Yeah, it does, and they don't quite have all of the items at the ready, although like I was going to talk about how it's going to be very useful to have that Black Dragon form at the ready now, but he is dead. And Murdoch is sieging.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Already for a fight coming in. Slow push definitely possible. Nature Prophet making it a little bit fast. Hook shot in onto the Ogre. Find the 5 position taken down. And no buybacks being used on the Dire side means they get a free set of racks. They might just continue for more. There's no real reason to stop for the time being. I mean, Ogre's dead. Believe! You can push this. You still have Chrono.
Dire's top tower is under
A
attack.
lack of Aegis may be making them a little bit nervous. But yeah, surprised to not see them at least go in for some more taps onto the top tower.
Yeah, take down the tier 3. Makes it easier for Nature Prophet to split push.
Then again, maybe that's the logic. It's like, that thing's gonna fall anytime soon anyway. Speed's just got treants. They'll do it for us. We can go farm.
Is Reflection just that little? I'm just still caught
Smoke
up on
on
Reflection.
top, by the way.
Oh,
Chrono
Chrono
onto
onto
the
the
TD. That's a
TDB.
big fight.
He is very tanky. He's dropping low. Do they get the kill? He can get the Sunder. He does sunder an ally, and they turn it around. Right now, they need to run away because this is problematic. This is a bad fight. No Chrono available. Oklahoma, no BKB. Stuns locked. Set Y. Oh, Ziz, size. I keep forgetting. We'll get the TP at the very least. But yeah, the Terrorblade, you're getting to those later portions in the game. And he is pretty tanky.
Fresh Satanic. I also think that it was very hard for the rest of E-Boys to actually follow up on that, with the Faces Boys being so far ahead of the rest of them.
It's a tough scenario. I definitely do think that. I mean, SNY, I get it, but I think the MKB would have gotten them that kill there. And just in general, any missed auto attack against the TB can be very deadly in the mid to late game. Who's now going for the butterfly as well, so I still assume that item is going to be built up on Murdoch.
Yeah, that is definitely now a very necessary MKB.
Can't win a war without money.
Speed, split pushing even further, going for
Another
the
hook
drums,
shot.
very delayed drums. Stalker, double hook shot, push back, stun lock, the bashes from the void, a little bit too much to handle, and TNM taken down. Big kills though, Murdoch needs to be careful himself. Can he get the leap away? No, he cannot, he is dead, 85 seconds. Roshan will respawn in give or take a minute, while the rest of them are chasing for the Grimstroke as well. It's starting to dwindle on the side of E-Boys, getting to late game, and these heroes are fairly tanky, even though they keep dying here and there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Takes a while for them to finally kill him off, so the rotations come in very quickly.
Exactly, it's about the time invested.
Radiant's top tower
And
is
I think there's also a little bit of
Radiant
a
structures are
scenario here where E-Boys is trying to get pickoffs in order to distract attention away from what Speed is doing over on the sidelines, but it also means that he is never available for the reactions. What he is doing is the main activity.
Okay, Clockwork wants to get a catch, kids. Of course, Black Dragon means he can just fly all the way to safety. Base deep from Oklahoma, pops his BKB hook shot in, locked the DK down, doesn't have Elder Dragon form anymore, onto the high ground, he's very low, still does get taken down. Oklahoma though, he's caught in a tough spot himself, silenced by the Night Stalker.
Fighting?
He will lose his life in the process. So, maybe trying to pump out damage. Roshan just respawned, they don't have buybacks on the cut. This is the third. This is a refresher shot. This is double chrono.
It is, and this is also speed on your top racks, forcing everybody who was left back and leaving that Roshan wide open. Not checked yet, though.
Well, they now know the Grimchuk scouted it with the stroke of fate, and without TB having a meta, even if they would have buybacks, you still couldn't be able to take a fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Absolutely not.
Dire
But
are
they got bought out for that AC on the DK, for I believe a Blink Dagger over on Grandma as well, and it leaves them wide open to scenarios like this.
fallen to the radiant.
Gift of eternity.
It's even though originally we thought that they'd be lacking damage, this Nate's Prophets does do quite a decent amount of right-click damage. The Quap as well does bring a lot of magic damage to the table, and the Faceless Void, even though he wasn't in that previous fight, but once that MKB is done, double chrono, you can easily take down the TB. You're gonna need to find yourselves a Heaven's Halbert on the cut heroes to try and keep the TB alive.
Halbert would have been a good option. There is going to be a Shiva's Guard at the very least finished over on DNM pretty soon, which will help a lot with the minus attack speed over on the Faceless Void, as well as over on the Queen of Pain, who always scales into a very respectable right clicker late game.
It's honestly a game of mistakes right now. Who's the team that's going to make the first? If you make one bad mistake, TB can split the map right up your high ground, and, well, we have seen Speed do that exact same thing the entire game.
And I do think that the Cut have kind of fallen in the trap of playing that game with him, saying, alright, well, we have a TV, we can push too. Well, yes, but not quite like a Nature's Prophet, and there goes that top tower. Eventually.
That's 75% miss chance for sprouted units. Huh. Interesting.
And he's
Oh,
coming
Chrono
back
actually
into
getting
top.
used. The Night Stalker in trouble. Scourge wanted to sunder him. There's that second available. He doesn't actually have the mana for a second Chrono, so they need to be careful. The big, brutal, tanky boys are starting to pump out damage. Even though they did already manage to get the double kill, leap in, but the cheese gets eaten. Oklahoma on the run. And Scourge, McDuck, and Kits, they're walking very far out without BKBs available. This is problematic. Leap back in from the Faceless Void, trying to get the catch. He's going to get stunned in for trouble. Will have that Aegis, of course, and Scourge, McDuck, TB, he's in trouble, tries to get away, but there's the Chronosphere, there's the catch, the TB is dead, and that is no buyback available. This looks like the Cut are just about to lose the first game. And E-Boys, with a draft that I did not expect them to take it, they actually take the game.
Yeah. No lack of damage, no lack of split push over on the sides, and the Cut definitely playing too passive in a game where they had a lot of tools to make things happen with, and instead they